Welcome to another daily roundup of Russian Telegram chatter. Your like and subscribe to my channel would really be appreciated. Subscription is free and it only takes a moment of your time. I monitor and translate Russian Telegram chat channels as a general mood check, so you don't have to. Remember, please do your own research and be wary of propaganda and disinformation, which occurs frequently in Russian chat, especially when there is bad news for Russians concerning the country's illegal and genocidal war in Ukraine. The images used in the video are for illustration purposes only. They do not necessarily represent the issues or translations. And finally, please note, the chat is unverified, and I do not endorse the views expressed. Boris Johnson accuses Putin of interfering in Georgian elections. The former British Prime Minister claimed the elections were manipulated by a criminal puppet government, undermining democracy in the region. Bundesbank chief calls Russia's cooperation proposals a mockery. The head of the German Bundesbank, Joachim Nagel, called the Russian authorities' proposals to establish international cooperation a mockery. Nagel called for not forgetting where it all began. He recalled that the economic downturn in Germany began in the spring of 2022. According to Nagel, Russia's statements about the importance of international cooperation are unacceptable. The BRICS summit in Kazan, also known as the Over 70 get-together, ended, as expected, in nothing. All attempts to pull a positive spin on the matter have no bearing on the essence of the matter. No general calculations, no fundamental shifts in support for members. It looked more like an attempt by the leaders of large countries to convince the Russian president that time is running out and that the SVO should be curtailed. The increase in the key rate of the central bank to 21% and the promise to increase it further, the next meeting is on December 20th, confirm the emptiness of the event. The central bank of the Russian Federation cannot stop inflation, and it's already obvious that banks are simply vacuuming up money for deposits. For what? For example, the Ministry of Finance has been unable to place government bonds, also known as OFZ, for several times since no one needs them. The likelihood of forced conversion of deposits into war bonds is growing. Fans of buying currency should not relax either. The likelihood of forced conversion or withdrawal of cash currencies becomes extremely high. And if you decided that the cell in the bank is your friend, then it is more friends with Comrade Major. The financial landscape is shifting rapidly. Uzbekistan has refused to join the economic union with Russia. Tashkent does not plan to join the Eurasian Economic Union, which, in addition to the Russian Federation, includes Belarus, Armenia, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, said the first Deputy Speaker of the Legislative Chamber of the Parliament of the Republic, Akmal Saidov. We have carefully analysed more than 1,000 different documents of this organisation and have come to the conclusion that at the moment it is more expedient for Uzbekistan to maintain observer status in the EAEU, Saidov stated. Previously, Uzbekistan was part of a military alliance with the Russian Federation, but suspended its membership in the CSTO back in 2012. Moldova has imposed sanctions on Russia to prevent it from financing weapons production and to stop the conflict in Ukraine. Otherwise, the banking system and other sectors of the Republic's economy would be subject to restrictions, President Maya Sandu said during pre-election debates with the candidate from the Party of Socialists, Alexandru Stoyanoglu, emphasizing the need for these measures. Putin admires and is friends with the worst criminals, the Taliban. Will he model the future direction of Russia on the success of the Taliban regime? Reported in October 2024. The Taliban have banned women from communicating with other women in public places in Afghanistan. Since August, the country has been banning the female voice. Women are prohibited from talking to other representatives of their gender in public places. The Russian central bank will not be able to cope with inflation by raising the key rate, according to financial analyst Mikhail Belyaev. In his opinion, reducing inflation requires a strong antitrust policy, similar to that used in the United States, where entrepreneurs are afraid of regulatory intervention. Belyaev proposed abandoning the goal of reducing inflation to 4% and focusing on achieving a level of 8%, which he believes is more realistic. November in Moscow will start with snow, forecasters warn. The air temperature will drop to 0 and the roads will be slippery. Due to snowy weather, motorists are advised to change their tires as soon as possible. Many residents in Moscow are without heating systems due to no maintenance. This winter will be deadly to them. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I also leave comments open for feedback, which I really appreciate. You can view my original posts in much more detail on Twitter. Follow me at beefeater_fella. My research threads also include full references and sources to speed up your own research. Did you know that I also provide daily updates and deep dive research videos on a range of interesting subjects, including economics, geopolitics, sanctions, circumventions, fossil fuel updates, and much more. If you are able to support me with a coffee or subscription on Patreon, I do provide links in the description of the video. I really appreciate all the support I can get towards my research, equipment, and publication costs. Thank you. To those who have supported me on Patreon or Buy Me Coffee, you are simply awesome. Your regular support is really appreciated. Remember, folks, the YouTube edition of my Russian Telegram chat translations is released every night at midnight, UK time. Have a great day. I look forward to your next visit.